way you planned them to. Everything didn't go the way that you wanted them to. Isn't it funny though? How you can plan for something, do everything right, make all the preparations, cross off all the marks on your list, dot every I and cross every T, and still things don't go according to your plan. We make plans all the time. We plan vacation trips. We plan family reunions. We plan weddings. And as parents, we try to plan our children's future. I don't know about you, but Paris is going to Harvard University. Plan. See, at the start of 2011, you plan to be healthier. You plan to eat right and walk right and exercise, but in March, you were diagnosed with breast cancer. There goes your plans. At the start of 2011, you plan to buy a home, but it's April, and you've lost your job. They took your car, turned off your cell phone, and nothing has gone according to your plan. Let me give you a definition of a plan. A plan is a method of doing something. It's a detailed program of action which implies mental formulation. Plans give imagination and vision. Most importantly though, plans are developed in advance. What you talking about, preacher? See, the battle plans are made before you enter battle. Wedding plans are made before the wedding day. Building plans are made before the cement is poured. And travel plans start way before you get in the car. My brothers and my sisters, I want to tell you tonight that you may have made your own plans, but God has plans of his own just for you. In fact, God's got it all planned out. In the 29th chapter of Jeremiah, some folk are feeling like things aren't going according to their plan either. Because we get like that. Tough spots. Stuff just ain't working out the way that I want it to work out. People aren't acting the way that I want them to act. I'm not getting to where I need to get to because I planned it out for myself. Well, let me give you the background of what's happening in Jeremiah 29 and 11. See, God is judging the people in Jerusalem. And he's using Jeremiah as a prophet to tell the people to straighten up and get right. But they're not listening. They're doing their own thing in Jerusalem. And Jeremiah is trying to warn them to stop it. Turn to your neighbor and say, stop it. Jeremiah is trying to warn them to get their act together, but nobody's listening. I know we don't do that here in Kingdom Embassy. We listen to the plans of God. But the people weren't listening. And God became frustrated. And he told Jeremiah to tell the people, if you don't straighten up and fly right, I'm going to allow you to be taken to Babylon. I'm going to allow the Babylonians to come into Jerusalem and destroy the city. Everybody listen? How do we get like that? Sort of like today. We want to do our own thing. We want to serve false gods. We want to listen to false prophets, fake stewards, and, people, tarot card readers. Doing our own thing. And God's saying, stop it. So here the people have come from Babylon and they take the Jerusalem people, the Israelites, out of that place. And now they're living in Babylon. They're living in Babylon. And they're not happy about it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Because see, I wanted to encourage my brothers and sisters back then. I wanted to tell them, don't get it twisted. Because some of the people that God allowed to go into exile, they woke up, they repented, and they had a heart for God. But here they were in Babylon. Can you imagine? Stop like Chuck in Babylon with people that were doing their own thing, serving false gods. They had their own method, their own plan. Can you imagine not being able to praise God the way They're in Babylon now. I imagine it was hard to remain faithful to God when everybody else was doing their own thing. I imagine it was hard to serve God when you couldn't pray when they wanted to and couldn't worship the way that they wanted to. What do you do when you can't serve God with freedom and people don't want to hear about your glorious God? What do you do? What do you do when you're qualified, but then you're overlooked, unappreciated, pushed aside, and you think that you've been left alone and abandoned? What do you do when you're losing your sons and your daughters to wickedness? What do you do when there's temptation all around you, but you're trying to live right? I imagine it's hard to be happy in that place called Babylon, in that land where there was no peace. I can hear them saying, surely God has forgotten us. Surely he can't hear our prayers. Oh, I know God doesn't care because he wouldn't have me in this situation. I know that he has forgotten me because I know he would not tolerate what these people are doing to me. Don't get it twisted, because God's got it all planned out. See, there are three keys that you need to understand about God's plan. The first thing you need to know is that God knows. Say that. God knows. The second thing is that God